This conference will now be recorded.
Well, today we'll learn about how to call the static methods and how to call the non-static methods. Yesterday, we learned how to create this kind of method, and we have observed what is the basic difference between the static methods and non-static methods. Today, we learn about the static method and how inheriting come today. Okay, right. To teach this topic, quickly let us create a few static and non-static methods of this class. Okay. In order to check your understanding levels about when to go for static and when to go for non-static, I repeat, let me check your understanding levels on when to go for static and when to go for non-static. I agree yesterday we have learned, just slightly I'm repeating it. Say, here, if I'm working on this RNHRM project, if I'm working on this RNHRM application, or if I'm working on some other application, say this banking application, similarly any other application, the first step, invoking the application, meaning invoking a browser. In RNHRM application also, we have to invoke the browser, access the given URL. In Premise Bank application also, we have to invoke the browser, access the given URL. Say I want to create a function for invoking my application under test. You ping me your answer. You want me to go with static or non-static? My function in invoke application, static. Good. Because either RNHRM or Premise Bank or any other application need to be invoked first, then we start validating the functionality. So here invoke application is a kind of a common utility. I can use it for RNHRM, I can use it for Premise Bank, I can use it for Facebook, I can also use it for any other given URL application. Such kind of functions we have to make as static. Well. Now, I want to create another function for validating. I'm stressing the word. I want to create a function to validate this RNHRM login. In my function login, my code will be like this. Enter username in this field, enter password in the password field, click login and check what is the expected behavior for this login, admin login I'm talking about. What is the expected behavior of this system? If I log in as an administrator, what is the expected behavior of this system? It should display admin module, right? Right. Okay. Supposing Gmail application. Here, invoke application function, I use to even invoke the Gmail application. I can use invoke application function to access even Gmail application. So invoke application definitely static. Invoke application definitely static, no doubt about it. Well, here, if I create a function for RNHRM logging, if I created a function for RNHRM logging, can I use the same function for Gmail login? I created a function to validate RNHRM login feature. My question, can I use the same function to validate Gmail login feature? Answer me. No. Why no? Because here this application behavior is different, not credentials. See, credentials meaning either RNHRM or Gmail login, definitely you supply the credentials, username, password as input arguments, not because of the credentials. Here, this UI is different, these elements are different, and these elements are different. Here, the expected behavior of the system, admin homepage, admin module. Here, the expected behavior of the system, inbox page. See, here if I create a code to check login, my code will be like this. Enter username, enter password, click login element, check admin module displayed or not. That is the code. If you talk about Gmail login, enter username, click next button. See, process changing, right? Enter username, click next button. Then enter password, click next button. Check inbox page displayed or not. See, the code I have created for RNHRM login, can I use as it is for testing Gmail login? The code I created to verify RNHRM login, the same function, the same logic as it is I can use to validate Gmail login? Definitely not, correct? So now you tell me, if I create a function to check Gmail login, when I created a function to verify the login, you want me to make it as static or non-static? Non-static, excellent, very good, right? So now I hope you understand this procedure. So the common utility functions like invoke application, delete the cookies, reading data from Excel, writing data into Excel, reading data from database, writing data into databases, reading data from TXT file, writing data into TXT file, such kind of common utilities, because they are common for, I can use it for any project. Such kind of common utilities, we have to make it as static method, because inside code will be constant. Maybe input values will be different. Excel file path may be different. TXT file path may be different. See, input arguments may be different. But inside business logic would be always constant. Same functions I can use for in different scenarios. Such kind of functions we have to make it as static. The function you created for a specific object, the function you created for a specific object, specific application should be of type non-static. As simple, the functions you created for your application under test, the functions you have created to verify something in your application under test should be of type non-static. A function you created to verify something in your application should be of type non-static, because this code, same code, I cannot use for other applications. The common utilities can be made as static. That is the conclusion. Well said. Mostly all people have given the right answer. So I hope you understand and you got some clarity about this, when to go for static and when to go for non-static, and also creating the function. Let me quickly create some basic functions. I consider an object here. Otherwise, just a minute. I'm creating a fresh package. In this package, I name Java hoops. So if you are really a developer, Java developer, you need to learn many object-oriented programming topics, but as a tester, we use some basic concepts of the object-oriented that I'm going to teach you here. Here I'm creating a class with the name car. Right. Now, here I'm creating a method, a static method, start car. You know, a class is a template of a object. A class is a template or a blueprint to demonstrate an object. The very first functionality of any car, start car. Every car will have this option. Hence, I made it a static. And here, a class used to explain an object. A class describes properties of an object and functionalities of an object. A class describes properties of an object and functionalities of an object. Properties are described using variables. Functionalities are described using methods. So finally, you answer me what a class contains. What a class contains. What a class contains. Methods and variables. Not only methods, also some variables. A class will have variables and methods. Variables are used to explain the properties of an object. Here, properties of the car. Methods are used to describe the functionalities of the object. Hence, variables and methods are collectively called class members. Variables and methods are together called class members. These class members are of two types, static and non-static. Here, a class is a template, or I can say a blueprint used to describe an object. A class describes properties of an object and also functionalities of an object. Properties are explained, meaning described, using variables, and functionalities are explained using methods. Properties are explained using variables, functionalities are explained using methods. Hence, variables and methods are called class members. Variables and methods are together called class members. These class members are of two types. They are static and non-static. Variables are also two types, static and non-static variables. Even methods also are of two types, static and non-static. Now, here, I want to describe some properties of this car object. First, name of the car. You know, name data type is string name. This is a variable. So here I declared a variable name. You tell me it is a local variable or global variable now. It's a global variable or local variable? Global variable. Because it is declared at class level. So hence, this name you can access among multiple functions inside the class. If really you declare some variable here, this is called local variable. Well. So here, I can make this variable as static. I can make this variable as static. If I'm not using this keyword static, if a variable not preceded with the keyword static, it is called non-static variable. Okay? Right. Now, this variable, you want me to define as static or you want me to make it as non-static? Name variable. Yes. Quickly. You want me to make it as static or you want me to make it as non-static? So here, I said a class is a template used to describe an object. Using this template, I can use this template to describe any car, not a particular car, any car. That is meaning template, right? I can use this program to describe any car. When you go for static, if it is a constant. Few people are giving still static. And most of the people have answered non-static, but few people have answered static. Static? The people who answered static, my straight question to you, static meaning constant value, agree? Constant value. Supposing I'm giving a value like Honda, it is static. Will you hardcode the value Honda? Every car is a Honda car. Can I use this template for other explaining other cars? If I make it as static, if I make the car name as static meaning constant, can I use the same template to explain other cars? So it should be static or non-static? Non-static, because car name will vary, car name will change from car to car. So non-static, we are not going to initialize the value, only we are going to declare the variable. We are not going to initialize the value because the value may vary from car to car here. Right. Now I want to declare a variable, or C name otherwise, okay? Or name, whatever. I want to declare another variable to store the color of the car. Color of the car. You want me to make static or non-static? I want to declare some variable, store the color of the car. Non-static, because color also may vary from car to car. Good. I want to declare a variable to store the price of the car, cost of the car, otherwise. Static or non-static? Non-static. Correct. Because car to car the price will change. Now, I want to declare a variable to store number of wheels of a car. Number of wheels of a car. Rods answered non-static. Some other person answered non-static. Raj, will number of cars will vary from car to car? Only two students have answered non-static. My question to the students: will number of wheels will vary from car to car? Your car has only 3 wheels. My car has 4 wheels. Okay. So it's a static or non-static then? Right. Static wheels. It's enough. It's enough. It's enough. The statement is enough. Hmm? As number of wheels, I'm talking about this statement, wheel statement, this statement. Number of wheels is a constant value. When you are declaring a static variable, in the declaration itself, we have to initialize the value. Because for every car, I no need to say store Honda car, number of wheels equal to 4. Audi car, number of wheels equal to 4. BMW car, number of wheels equal to 4. I want to store like that? No, right? Any car it can be, any object it can be, this value remains same. Hence, while declaring the static variable, that is the meaning of static, correct? That is the meaning of the static. While declaring variable itself, you need to initialize the value. While declaring non-static variable, we don't initialize the value because this value will vary from object to object. Whereas, while declaring a static global variable, you must initialize the value. It's not mandatory, but it is preferred because every time I do not want to give the value. So I'm initializing the value here. Got it? Now, we'll do one thing. I will do one thing. I'm not initializing the value first. I'm not initializing the value. Later I'll update this. You'll understand why we have to initialize the value when I start writing the code. Well, now here, just just a minute. Here I'm printing. Okay. Maybe while accessing this method, start car, which car? Now here, car name is the input argument. The car name is the input argument. Car name we have to pass while calling this method. Then that should be printed. The car name I want to print. Right. I'm creating another method. Enable code drive. Just I'm creating 2 3 sample method. That's it. Enable sport drive. Public. Static or non-static? Static or non-static? Static or non-static? Non-static, excellent. Because every car will not have this sport drive option. Every car will have a start option, but every car will not have sport drive option. It is non-static. Right. I created the code like this: sport drive option invoke. Then I'm creating another function to stop the car. Stop the car. Every car will have a stop on, right? Stop car. Maybe here also, which car I will stop, I have to pass while calling a method. Car name. Here, start car. I supply the car name I want to start. Just I'm printing car name. Then I'm concatenating another string is started. Sport drive option invoke. Car name. I'm concatenating is stopped. Something like this. Well, now I have created two static functions and I created one non-static function here. I created a template to use for any car object. Right now, here I'm creating a sample program to understand how to access this method. My program name car test. In order to execute your code, we need a main method, right? See, previously it is an object. I mean, it is a template. We are not executing the whole template. We are going to access the required variables and required functions in some other classes where you need a main method. I inserted a main method. Let me write the code here. Now, I want to use this, otherwise, say for example, car test, say Audi car test is my class name. Maybe after you create a class, when you change, you can go for rename compilation. Like this, you can change the class name. Audi car test. If I want to change it again, simply car test. Go here, rename compilation. Okay, done. Now, so here just to explain you, we can rename a class at any point of time. But preferred, if I am renaming a class in somewhere else the class name was extended, used, other programs gets interrupted, renaming a class is not at all a preferred practice because maybe other classes are not using your class. You can rename. We don't get any problem. Well, now I'm explaining how to make use of the methods or variables available in the car class here in the other program. Here in this class, we have few static functions. Start car, stop car are the static members. Enable sport drive is a non-static member. Now, first I want to use a static member, static method, start car. You ping me your answer. I want to call from here, from the main method. From the main method, I want to call the static function start call. You answer here how to call the method start call here. Class name dot method name. Excellent. Calling static method. How to call a static method? If you want to call a static method, the syntax will be class name dot method name. Now, how to call a non-static method? Calling non-static method. At first, we have to create a instantiate a object for the class. We have to create the instance of the class, nothing but object of the class. At first, we have to create object for the class using new keyword. How to create an object? Okay, first I'll do this. After creating an object for the class, by the reference of the object, we can call non-static method. At first, we have to create an object for the class. How? Class name. Previously, we have created an object for array list, even linked list. The same way. Class name, some object name equal to new class name. So what happens? What is this new keyword? It allocates some memory. In the heap memory, it reserves some space where all non-static members of the specified class are copied. Whatever the non-static members available in the specified class, copied into the heap memory. That heap memory location is this object. With the reference of this object, we have to call them object dot method name, or even variable also. Not only for this, the same rule applicable for even using variables also. Either a variable or a method. By referring the class name, we can access static variables or static method. By creating an object, we can access non-static members of the class. Right, this is a conclusion. Now, here I want to call the static method, which is start car from here, start car. So you tell me the code here. You submit your code. I want to call static method start car. The start car needs an input argument, car name. Start car method needs one input argument, car name. So now you ping me your message how to call the static method from this class, from car test class. Now I wanted exact syntax. Car dot start car OD. Good. Few people have sent like this. Car dot start car. But we have observed start car method needs one input value. I clearly showing you the method. Car dot start car string. That's correct. The car you want to start, the car name we have to supply as a string. So now, not string RD, only string we have to supply. Car is my class name. Sir, everybody, you do observe clearly here. How many methods we have created in this class, car class? Keenly observe. How many methods we have created? First, you answer me. How many methods we have created in this car class? 3 methods. Correct. Start, enable sport drive, and stop. These are the 3 methods we have created. Well, now you observe here in the suggestion list and tell me how many methods it is showing. In the suggestion, it is showing only 2. Which method is missing? Enable sport drive means non-static method. See, I specify the class name car. I specify the class name dot. You do observe it is showing only static members of the class. Correct? In fact, how many variables we have declared here? 4 variables we have declared. In this 4, only wheels is a static member, remaining all are non-static members. Check out the suggestion list again. Not only methods, it is showing only 1 variable. See, for every class, for every object, there is a implicit object called class, because in Java, every class is inherited from a superclass called class. Leave it. First one, leave it. It is showing only 1 variable wheels. It is showing only 2 methods, because with the reference of the class name, by referring the class name without creating an object, we can access only static members of the class. Now I'm using this one, start car. It is asking me car name. I'm giving my car name, Audi. It is showing some error. Why? Once again, let's see here. Start car. It needs one input of type string. It is asking one input of type string. I'm giving my car name now. It's valid statement. Done. Okay. And other way of doing the same. I'm creating an object for this class. Car one equal to new car. Then C1 dot. We have declared a non-static variable name, right? We have a non-static variable name, color, price. I'm accessing them. C1 dot name equal to here. First, I'm storing the details about a particular car. Car one. Say Audi. Then C1 dot color equal to, I'm storing some color. Say red. C1 dot the price equal to, I'm storing some amount. Say 9,999. Now, what is left in? What is left in? So what is the data left in? Wheels. Okay. C1 dot wheels equal to 4. Okay. Okay. Now, in the same program, I want to use the same car template to test another car also, second car also, another car. So here I'm creating another object C2 equal to new car. It's another object. Then C2 dot, I'm storing some details about the second car. Sorry. First name equal to, because definitely name will vary from car to car, hence we made it as non-static. Second car name, say for example, BMW. C2 dot color, second car. So I'm giving say blue. And C2 dot the price equal to, I'm storing some value. Right. Now, what is left in? What is left in? Wheels. Okay. P2 dot, do I need to store the wheels value for all the cars every time? No. Okay. Refer the class what we have created. Refer the car class. Did you store any value for the wheels here? Name we have not stored, colors we have not stored, price we have not stored. Agreed, because car to car these parameters may change. But coming to wheels, any car the number of wheels would be the same. So while declaring the variable itself, better to initialize the value. So that as a value is constant for every object, every car, I no need to do this statement. Every time, for every car, I no need to store the number of wheels. It's not required. Directly you can access. Okay, now, non-static meaning data will vary from car to car. Such kind of variables, we have to make it as non-static. If the data is constant for all, we have to make it as static. Done. Now, I want to test my first car. What is the object name? C1. C1 dot. Okay. First, I want to call my static method. Car dot start the car. Here I'm using C1 dot name. C1 dot name. What is the C1 dot name value now? Audi. When I run this, I'm running the code. His output, Audi is started. Now, here, car dot start the car. C2 dot name. What is the value present in the C2 dot name? BMW. These two statements will be executed now. Audi started, even BMW also started. Okay. Now, I want to access a non-static method, which is enable support drive. Already we have created object for this first call, C1. C1 dot, C1 is here object for the first class. C1 dot enable support drive. Here, C2 dot enable support drive. These are we call the non-static members. The Audi started, support drive option invoked. BMW started, support drive option was invoked. Then I want to access another static method here, that is stop call. Stop call C1 dot name. Here, car dot stop call C2 dot name. Now see the output here. So this is how we can call the static and non-static methods of the class. Right now here, let me show you other way of even. And do remember, I'll type here. Sorry. We can call a static method by the reference of the object also. But in memory management point of view, it is not recommended, preferred. Because whenever you are referring a method with the reference of an object, whenever we are calling a method with the reference of the object, that method will be copied into the heap memory. From there, we are going to access. Directly, we have an option to call a static method. Then why to copy into one more location and accessing it? It's unnecessary, waste the memory, results in performance issue. See here, do remember 2 points, everybody, in programming point of view. Poor code, wrong code. What is the major difference? Is the code not made as per the standards? That is called poor code. No mistakes in my logic, but code not made as per the rules, as per the programming standards. That is called poor code. There is a mistake in my logic, that is called wrong code. Poor code never results in functional issue. Poor code never results functional issue. Poor code results in performance issue. Wrong code will result in malfunctioning of the product. Got it? So we can call a static method even by reference of the object, but it is not recommended. Check out this one. Here, I comment this line. I want to call the static method by reference of the object C1. C1 dot start call. You do observe, I'm calling a static method with the reference of the object. I'm calling a static method with the reference of the object. Yes, it is possible, but not suggested. C1 dot name I'm using. You do observe, in all the remaining lines of code, there is no warning message. But here there is a warning. To just read the warning, static method start call from the type call should be accessed in a static way. But we are accessing a non-static way. Hence it is showing in a warning. See, warning meaning not the recommended way of usage. Error meaning there is a mistake in the syntax in the statement. Warning meaning the statement will be executed, but not preferred way of putting the statement. Right. So it is possible but not suggested. So always better to call a static method with the reference of the class name. Start call. I'm using the call name. Got it? Right. So here, no, okay. Another static variable I want to use, that is wheels, number of wheels. For all the cars, number of wheels are same. Hence, while defining the template, we have stored the value. How to access it? That's simple. Okay. T1 dot wheels. T2 dot wheels. My question, did you store this value T1 or C2? No, right? Let's see. Here also number of wheels 4, here also number of wheels 4. But here, I was not stored number of wheels for the C1, number of wheels for the C2, but as it is a static member, you can access for all the objects. As it is a static variable, I accessed it, but again, it is not the preferred way because it is static member. So just for your understanding, the value will be copied into all the objects. I used it. Directly, I can use that class name car wheels. Because for all the cars it is same, it is a static member. This is a preferred way of accessing a static member. Class name dot method name or class name dot variable name. Car dot wheels. You please observe the warning message was suppressed because always it is recommended to call any static member by reference of the class name. So now the same output you get now. What I'm trying to say for static, will be copied applicable for all the objects. Understood till this point? You have any questions to me till this point? This is what, how to create a method, how to define the variable, how to access. I given the very clear picture about calling static members and non-static members. The topic what we have learned, calling static members and calling non-static members. You please confirm. Understood this topic, everyone? Calling static members, calling non-static members. How to use them I have demonstrated today. Good. Well, well, friends, for today I stop here. And tomorrow I conclude the topic that method overloading concept and inheritance concept. Tomorrow I'll discuss about method overloading and inheritance kind of concept. Okay? Thank you. We continue tomorrow.